I'm here at the Albergue. I didn't do my nightly stats last night because I was up talking to one of the other pilgrims until after everybody had gone to bed, and so I didn't want to disturb anybody else by making a video. So yesterday I went 28,000 steps. This place I'm staying at last night and again tonight was 22 euros a night. I had a nice dinner for 20 euros, which I think was a little bit high, but it was a really nice dinner. Had appetizers, and it was steak and dessert and wine and coffee and bread. I didn't have any of the appetizers because it was like prawns and mussels, and like they even put capers where the eyeballs of the prawns were, and I just couldn't. It was too much seafood. I know that's like been a goal of mine, which I have not been doing, but that was too much. I need something more like breaded cod or something that I can't recognize as a fish, but it still had like its antennas on it and its legs, and I was just like, nope, I can't do this. Anyway, so that was my dinner last night, and then this morning I am taking a rest day today to rest my feet, so that, you know, because it's good for your muscles to give them a rest. So I'm doing that, and I'm taking an Uber to the church up on the hill, and just kind of seeing the sights and wandering around the city a little bit, and then I'll probably come back here to the hostel I'm staying in, and hopefully try to finish getting all the pending videos uploaded. So that's my goal today. I did also get in contact with the sound healing guy that I was hoping to get a class with. Did I mention that already? I don't know. But anyway, he hasn't given me the official dates, but he said it's the first week in September, which is perfect because I'll already be in Rishikesh. My class in Rishikesh ends on August 28th, and then if I can start his class in the first week of September, and then move to my next Kundalini yoga immersion, that like fits perfectly in my time frame. His class does not include lodging like the other one, and so I will have to find a place to stay in Rishikesh for the week that I'm there. But I'll probably just find another hostel and stay there. They've been pretty easy to stay in, and if I'm not spending all day here, they're kind of nice to just have a bed to sleep in at night and then get up and get going in the morning. And so I'll be in class all day with him, and so there's, a hostel is perfectly acceptable and it's affordable. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I did learn that, so initially when I just was planning this particular, this trip and this trek, I was giving myself a little bit of extra time, but my goal was to get to the Cathedral de Compostela up in Santiago on June 24th, which is my 40th birthday. But I am going to get there way before then. But the woman I was talking to last night, she's from Brazil, so she speaks fluent Portuguese, and so she understands a lot more than I do. But she was saying that, so in Vila do Conde, which I was just in a couple days ago, they have, so the saint culture in a lot of these like Judeo-Christian countries is really, really popular. And I knew that June 24th in Canada was Saint Jean Baptiste Day, but I never really made connections and connected dots and stuff that would be a big day here. But Saint John the Baptist was said to be his birthday. The Bible actually says he was born 6 months before Christ. And since we celebrate Christmas on December 25th, like the obvious, like 6 months before that is June 24th. So that's actually when they celebrate St. John the Baptist Day. He's actually one of only like 2 saints that they celebrate their birthday instead of their death day, which works out for me. But anyway, she was saying that like St. John the Baptist is like one of the big saints, and they always have these big festivals in Brazil. And they start June 1st, and they'll wake you up at 6 a.m. with fireworks. And there's 2 other saints in June, so June's like a big saint month for these cultures. And so I looked it up, and the Villa de Conde that I just walked through, they have a whole month-long festival dedicated to St. John the Baptist, because they actually, there's a fort there that is, was like dedicated to St. John the Baptist, and so it's the fort of St. James, or St. John, the fort of St. John. And Buen Camino, the fort of St. John, and so they have this huge month-long festival totally dedicated to St. John. And June 24th is like the big day. And so I think I might try to get back there. I have to get back to Porto in order to get my luggage. And so I might stop there and go to this big festival on June 24th for my 40th birthday. It was either that or like Paris, I think, was what I was thinking. But I kind of like the idea of having like a big party for myself, you know. I'll grace everyone with my presence since they're throwing me a party. But we'll see. I haven't totally decided. It depends on when I get done and how long it, you know. Anyway, but I thought that was interesting. And you know, I might be able to find another festival like that somewhere else in Europe. So it might not just be there, but I just thought that was kind of fun. That was like my birthday was like a big day here. So anyway, I'm going to take this Uber and then kind of rest the rest of the day. I will check in later. I'm here at the top of, or at this cathedral at the top of the hill, and the view is incredible. The energy is very peaceful, very calming here. They have beautiful music playing on speakers that kind of just surround the entire plaza. And the church is incredible. I don't know if you can see how amazing it is. And the view is unreal. But yeah, it is quite peaceful up here that I actually honestly was questioning whether or not I should film anything up here. Sadly, the funicular to bring people up here doesn't start until tomorrow, so I missed it by 1 day, but it's okay. I got an Uber, and he said he's the only Uber driver in the city, so I guess I'll be taking his ride home as well. But anyway, I'm gonna just spend some time here and enjoy the serenity and the peace and the beautiful scenery. Here are the start of the stairs at the bottom of the hill to take you up to that cathedral. It's an absolutely beautiful cathedral. I did pay to go up to the top of one of the towers, but I didn't make it up there because it was too scary. I got up to like one flight of stairs and started to like panic, and I'm really glad I stopped on my way back down. I started to really like get that like paralyzed paralyzing fear. Like I wouldn't have made it if I had tried to go up any higher. But I think that this 625 that is kind of been etched into the side of this pillar indicates that there are 625 stairs to get up there, and I would believe that having just come down those stairs, there were a lot of stairs, and there were a lot of people that were headed up them, very tired, very exhausted. I didn't feel like I needed to go up the stairs. I'm already on a fairly physically demanding pilgrimage. That this particular trek was not something that I felt that I needed to partake in. At least not going up it. I did come down them, but that was kind of enough for me. I also just saw that there is an albergue up there somewhere. I didn't notice that. I didn't see anything that looked like a hostel, but I also wasn't really looking. But yeah, it was a beautiful cathedral, really, really peaceful, really serene. Just had a wonderful environment. The paintings on the ceilings were incredible. Really beautiful paintings. Stained glass was amazing. But I didn't want to like film while I was in there. I felt like that was disrespectful. So I didn't. You can probably Google it. I bet there's pictures of it. And it'll tell you a lot better about the cathedral than I ever would anyway. So anyway, that was my experience at the cathedral. And now I'm going to head back to the hostel. So today was a fairly uneventful day. I went up to that cathedral and wandered around there for a little while. And then I wandered around toward the river, not necessarily on purpose, but because I needed Wi-Fi in order to get an Uber back. And I found a mall and wandered around the mall for a little while, and then wandered down to the river and realized that that was the same route I was on just a few days ago, or 2 days ago, I guess. So I'd already seen quite a bit of it. But then I took the Uber back, and the Uber pulled up in front of my hostel, and I got out of the car right in front of these two women, and as soon as I looked up, I realized that it was Winnie and Allison from the first albergue from my very first night. And we just looked at each other and we just laughed, and they're like, I somehow knew that was going to be you. They're not staying at this hostel, they're staying at a hostel down the street, but they just came on a walk up to get some coffee just by the hostel I'm in. And you know, it's funny that if my Uber had been even 2 minutes earlier or 2 minutes later, I wouldn't have run into them. I would have gone right into the hostel, and we wouldn't have encountered one another. And so, you know, it's funny that it pulled up and I like literally stepped out right in front of them. And they're the ones that I saw at the third night in Santa Clara, where I was, that I was helping them with their maps. And so clearly Winnie and Allison from Canada are somebody that I'm going to continue to encounter along this Camino. They're people that have been brought into my life for a reason. And it is really, really nice to see friendly, happy faces and people that I know and are kind and joyful, and it just, you know, it's just one of those things. And you know, we were talking about how there's this saying that everyone says that the Camino provides, and they were telling me that just a couple nights ago they stayed at a church, at a nunnery. Nunnery? Yeah, probably. And they had lost their plug adapter at the night before at the hotel. They just accidentally left it in the wall and didn't grab it. And they asked one of the girls there if she had one, and she's like, oh, you know what, I actually think I might have one that fits you. And she dug around in her desk, and she found one and handed it to him. And then the next morning when they went to go leave, that woman had gone and wasn't there, and so they didn't know where to return it. They didn't know who to give it to, and they were like, if we leave this here, somebody else is going to take it. And they both looked at each other, and they were like, this was for us. This is this Camino provided us this adapter, and so this is something that is for us. And so I just thought it was a really interesting story, and it's really interesting how everybody has kind of had this same concept of the Camino provides. If you need something, somehow you will find it. Somebody will give it to you. Somebody will put it on your pillow. But whatever it is that the Camino provides. So I thought that was such a great story, and it was really, really good to run into them. And I really, really hope that I continue to run into them throughout this journey. It seems that we're clearly on a similar pace. Winnie, this is really more Winnie's journey. It was her idea. She wanted to do this, and she's 76. And she's bringing Alice and her daughter along with her. And her daughter, was like, my mom might be a little bit slower. She has, shorter legs, and it takes her a little longer to get there. But I'm just as tired, and I get done before my mom does. And that is so impressive that at that age that she's capable of this. She has the mental desire to do this, and she's pushing herself through it, and she's pushing herself through the days, and she's allowing herself the time to rest if she needs it. And it's so inspiring to see her and to meet her and to talk to her. And that kind of leads me, to another story. I had an uncle of mine who who Venmo'd me some money as to support my trip here, just like my brother Andy did, and this particular uncle and my aunt and uncle, not just my uncle, my aunt and uncle, are also similar inspirations to me. My aunt is actually one of the first people I've ever known that has lost a significant amount of weight, and that was always really inspiring to me. I was always really encouraged by that. But Uncle Joe and Aunt Rima are also, they started running marathons, I think in their 60s, if not their late 50s, but way later in life, way later than you would expect people to start running a marathon, but they did, and they continue to do it, and they've made it part of their lives. They've now incorporated their children into it, and their children are doing it. And it really is genuinely inspiring their dedication and their commitment to their health and to their well-being, and that they're able to, marathon isn't just the physical ability. It is definitely a mental exercise to be able to push yourself through a marathon. It is a lot of mental work to push yourself and keep going, even when it's hard and it's physically challenging, and that is so inspiring. They've always been an inspiration to me. And it's funny because Uncle Joe and Aunt Rima have actually really been on my mind a lot throughout this Camino. There have been a few people that, as I've been doing this, that I think about in my life, that I'm like, these people would really, really enjoy this, that they should consider doing something like this in their own lives. My ex-husband's aunt Laura and her friend Carla, I can absolutely see them crossing Spain. She spent a summer when she was young in Spain, and has absolutely developed a love for Spain. And so for her to come do the Camino and walk across the entire country of Spain, I just think would be something that she would get a lot out of. And so I think about her a lot as I've been on this journey, that I think she would like this kind of an experience. But Uncle Joe and Aunt Rima are also in that same category. And not only do I think that they would enjoy this, I'm actually a little bit surprised they haven't already done it. and I do think that they would like the experiencing the culture, but the mental and physical challenge of the Camino. And you know, it's funny, when I started this Camino, I didn't really tell very many people I was doing it. I really only told 1 or 2 people actually that this was my plan. I had been talking about it for a number of years, and you know, my ex-husband was not supportive of the idea, and I knew that. That wasn't a surprise to me. But even when I would talk about it with coworkers at previous jobs, they would kind of look at me like, "Are you serious? You're gonna do that?" And so I've never really gotten a lot of support and encouragement in this idea that I've always wanted to do this Camino. And so I didn't tell a lot of people I was doing it. I didn't tell a lot of people I was coming here, because I was worried that people wouldn't support me. But what I have gotten instead is nothing but support. Nothing but support from my friends and my family. People that I didn't even know were watching me or interested are, you know, it's been really really encouraging me, and really allowing me to keep going and know that I'm doing something that's good for me. And so it is incredibly meaningful to me to receive these kinds of gifts, because not only is it a gift of money that will help me along my journey, but it is a gift of support and encouragement, and that means so much more to me than any monetary gift that anybody could give me. And I am truly grateful for all of the support of my friends and my family. And so thank you, Uncle Joe, for your support of my journey. It really does mean a lot. But anyway, I thought I would do my quickly nightly stats. I'm at 11,000 steps today. Much later day than normal. My albergue tonight, it's actually a hostel, not an albergue. The hostel I'm staying at tonight is 22 euros. I had some pizza for lunch. That was 8 euros. I had coffee this morning, and again with Winnie and Allison. So in total it came to I think 4 euros. And then Allison told me about a cider that she has been drinking along the way that she's really liked, and so I picked up a couple of those with her, and they were each 2 euros, so that's 4 euros. So still right around 30 euros for the day. I have some leftover from my dinner last night that I'll have for dinner tonight. And then tomorrow I'm just gonna keep on. Winnie and Allison were actually taking the boardwalk right along the ocean instead of the Roman cobblestone road that I was taking along the bench, and they said it was a lot better on their feet. That the day that they were on the cobblestones was really hard on them as well, so they've been taking the boardwalk. So I think tomorrow that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to follow their lead and walk down to the ocean and to the beach and take the boardwalk along up to the next stop. So I don't really have a huge plan for where I want to get to yet tomorrow, but I'm going to go until I'm done. So anyway, bien camino.